Well, laptop computers are pretty much ergonomic disasters. There's a lot written about how to use a desktop computer ergonomically, how to set the monitor, how to set the height of your keyboard, how to set the height of your chair, and so on and so forth, but very little about laptop computers. And that's because they're not very ergonomic friendly. However, there's things that you can do. Now this laptop, the one thing I do like about it, I really like about it, is the touchpad. Because unlike mouses, the classical computer mouse, these you're not having to grip anything, just using the tips of your fingers. You can have your hand in neutral position, meaning the back of your hand is in line with the back of your forearm. You're not squeezing anything, whereas computer mouses can be very hard with repetitive use on the tendons of the forearm, just making tight forearms, and the little mouse finger can put a lot of tension with repetitive use on the tendons that go through your carpal tunnel. Anyway, I digress. But the rest of the computer, not so good. In order to have your keyboard at the right height, and you want it close to you so you're not reaching with your shoulders, in order for it to have the keyboard at the right height, again, with your hand, the back of your hand flat with the back of your forearm, and floating above the keyboard. You don't want to be having your hand down so that you're going like this. That puts tension in the tendons that go through the carpal tunnel, which is another story. But in order to have that the right height, there's your monitor down there. Well, your laptop computer was never meant to be your main computer originally, but they've come down so much in price, and the power in these things have grown exponentially, so much more power in them, and it seems to be no end, that for a lot of people it is the main computer. And if you're traveling on business or if you're a student, it's a very practical thing to have. But the hours you spend on this, you could spend a lot less hours on this and cause more damage to your body than you can with a regular computer. Because your body wants to crawl into a ball as you're using the parts of your body, such as the pectorals. Mine are in the front, which tends to pull your shoulders forward, your head being forward all the time, and you won't notice this right away, but after years and years of use, this can be debilitating unless you're doing things to your body, for your body, that will reverse the trend to keep yourself back in alignment, because the natural tendency is to curl up into a ball eventually. If you watch old people who have never exercised, they tend to be ending up in a ball in their later years. And if you see these programs on TV where they're advertising assisted living facilities and they show them doing exercises, those poor old ladies can hardly move their arm. That's not from age, that's from lack of use. But anyway, one thing you can do is get a laptop holder for it. And I don't have one here, but because I'm cheap and I don't use this laptop very much. But the whole idea is to raise the monitor up and raise the keyboard up so you're looking more directly into the monitor. Now you can get folding ones that are lightweight, that will fit inside your briefcase, or in the case of the computer, so if you're traveling you can take one with you. You might want to check out the reviews on these things before you buy them, because some are flimsier than others. And this one I have is just something that's made for something else, but it works. You'll notice that you can put it at a height that still keeps the back of your hand in line with the back of the forearm. The disadvantage is that you've got your elbow at much less than a 90-degree angle. So that's not ideal. It's better to have it 90 degree or bigger. But you do what you can do. Now this is my rant against manufacturers. Why can't, with all the technology we've got, and this is just to be an engineering thing, why can't you have a detachable monitor and a really sturdy but lightweight monitor stand that you can just put in a briefcase or in your computer case and take it with you. Now I understand I've got a little gizmo back here where I can attach a monitor to, but that's one more thing. Now if you're a traveling salesman or businessman, you're not going to carry an extra monitor around. And if you're a student who's spent all your money on the laptop, you don't want to spend a couple hundred more on a monitor. Oh, look at all the beer that could buy. I apologize for that. Anyway, if you do get a laptop holder, it's good to review these things online to make sure it's sturdy and people have good success with it, because you don't want something flimsy, but you want it very portable if you're traveling with it. If you're not traveling with it, you can have something makeshift. You can even cut a cardboard box, you know, if you're on a budget, which I understand. I was going to cut up a cardboard box to show you, but that would be sort of silly. If you're on a budget, you can be very creative. And of course, I'm sure you know about flash drives or other similar drives that you can transfer information from one computer to another. So if you do have a PC or the other desktop computer, you can transfer files back and forth so that when you're not on the road, and if you do have a desktop computer, you can transfer your files and then do stuff on your desktop. Anyway, be safe, be happy.